Greetings, adventurer. You're listening to the Roll for Arcana podcast. I'm your host, Ravi, a TTRPG enthusiast and tarot practitioner, with not a lot of certification at hand, but enough experience to think that I may be qualified to talk about these things. Come along as I try to blend the mysticism of tarot cards with the fantasies of TTRPGs. This is episode 1, Roleplaying with Divination. Hello and welcome. Just imagine that you are in a tavern. But my tavern isn't quite traditional. It's quite feminine, with pink carpets, flowers all around, lace ribbons. It smells like vanilla in here. So, let's jump right into it. Why this podcast? Why combine tarot cards with TTRPGs? They are two separate things, and while yes, some RPGs use tarot as a mechanic, I'm assuming there's not much depth into the study of the cards. Well, dear adventurer, the reason why I'm doing this is because I love both, and I've always wanted to yap about these two things. And, I decided, hey, why not just smash them both in one giant pudding? And here we are. I've always had a passion for performing, singing, dancing, acting. I was, and still am, a theater kid. I acted in my primary school and high school plays, and during senior high school, I acted in a student film that competed against another student film from another campus, and I won Best Supporting Actor. But, college, I didn't have a platform to do something like that because I was a linguistics student, and of course, my focus were on papers and languages, not really being on stage. And I thought maybe that was the end of it. I just wasn't going to be able to step into someone else's shoes. I wouldn't bore you with much details, but to keep the story short, I was scrolling through YouTube, searching for videos of my favorite voice actors, and as I watched interviews, behind the scenes footage, the algorithm thought it would be great to recommend Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 75, An Ancient Flame. And yes, I remember that clearly because that was my first ever exposure to anything TTRPG related. I didn't even know what a TTRPG is. I just know this is called a Dungeons and Dragons game. I was hooked, and after a month, I decided I needed to be in a game, like really quickly. One Reddit post later, and bam, I was invited to a Discord server where I've been playing and GMing for almost a year now. Ever since then, I've already plunged into other games such as the Cypher System, Ryutama, Cult, Kids and Bikes, and so much more. How about tarot? I've always been a fan of tarot. My origins with cards would trace back to Cardcaptor Sakura. That show, that anime, had the Clo cards, and I forced my mom to buy me the Clo cards. She gave me those, and I was like, okay, there's something magical about these cards. But of course, as a young kid, I really didn't know anything about spirituality and how deep that concept is. I only know these are pretty cards and they're telling a story, but I don't know what they're telling me specifically. Well, I've dabbled into tarot in and out here and there during high school, college, not learning the meaning of the cards, but looking at the pictures and thinking, why do I feel like they're telling me something? And indeed, they were. Fast forward to 2024, I was watching a video of my current obsession, Slosh, and one of its cast members talked about tarot. Now, as I've said, I've already watched countless videos of tarot. Pick a deck cards, pick a crystal, choose a flower, choose a deck. I've watched a ton of like a ton. I can't tell you how much because if you look at my YouTube history, it's a lot. But that shouldn't be new to me when I was watching that video. But it felt like at that moment, my intuition woke up, made itself known, and said, Hey girl, hey bestie, I think you need to have a tarot deck in your table right now. And so I did. I bought my first deck. I actually bought two decks. One is a secondhand Oracle deck, and then the other one is a new deck, tarot deck. So it's been only a few months since I started my tarot practice, but I've already been absorbed by the rabbit hole of looking at decks online, seeing the price, adding them to cart to maybe hopefully buy them as gifts for myself. Rinse, repeat. I've tried and experimented methods of reading, have been consistently writing journal entries for my daily personal readings, reading for other people occasionally, and then an idea hit me. Why don't I use tarot to guide how I'm going to navigate my character's journeys, or use tarot to build the background of a new character? I don't know if that sounds exciting to you, but it definitely sounds exciting for me. And that's exactly what we're gonna do today. We're gonna create a new character using the mysticism of tarot. At the time of recording, today is September 26th. I have a D&D game on Saturday, September 28th, and our DM told us to create a new character sheet that follows D&D 2014 rules. So, with the power of the divine in my hands, I'm going to focus on what I want my character's journey to be. And also, their personality. What do they look like? Or how do they talk? How do they approach things? So I'm gonna figure those out using tarot cards. For my character's journey, I'm going to do a 4 card spread. Specifically, I will be pulling an oracle card for the central theme for the character, and then I'm gonna do a 3 card spread for past, present, future. So 1 card for the theme, 3 cards for past, present, and future. I would like to preface that the future is not a prediction, but a possibility of where this new character will go based on his malleable present. Obviously, whatever I do to this character that won't be aligned with the reading I'm about to do will have direct effects in the future. So take everything with a grain of salt. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. All right, let's get shuffling. So I am shuffling my tarot deck, and if you're watching on YouTube, I am going to also post the cards that showed up on the screen. So first and foremost, I want to shuffle my oracle cards and then pick one that's at the top because this oracle card doesn't really do well with the riffle flying shuffle method. It doesn't really fly out. It's very stable, but shuffling it is easy. So I'm just gonna shuffle it very, very well. I'm not sure if you can hear it through the mic. But yeah, just shuffling it and then picking from the top. What would the theme of my character be? Of this new character? Ooh. We have inner temple, devotion, tune in to the portal of your heart. So this is the theme of that character. Oh. Okay, so fun fact, I've for this specific game, I've been a cleric. And as most of you may know in D&D, clerics are in touch with their spiritual, yeah, with their deities, with their spirituality. And with this in mind, I feel like the card is telling me that I am going to play another cleric. This is giving me the theme of someone who is very much in tune with their deity, and I'm not sure what kind of deity it will be, but it's giving me that. So, inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. And yeah, internally as well, I think they are guided by the beliefs of their deity, the principles, the teachings of the deity's followers. So I think that's going to be very, very interesting. Now let's look at past, present, future. Now I'm going to shuffle my tarot cards and determine what their possible path will be. So let's go with the present first. Now this for this specific tarot deck, the riffle fly away card shuffling method is effective. Like it flies out whenever I shuffle. So let's just see what this will give me. Oh, Interesting. Okay, so a card fell out and it's the Fool for the past. Oh, and two, oh no, three more cards. That's not going to be part of this reading. I need one for past and one for future. So it's either give me two cards or give me one for each as I shuffle. All right, let's see. Okay, nothing is falling out yet. But it's very interesting that I got the Fool as the past. So my character is looking like someone who is just starting their adventure. Like they're a fairly new adventure, or yeah, they're just stepping out of their comfort zone. They're looking into a vast land of opportunities. Interesting, very interesting. I wonder what his present is, or her, or them. There. Hmm. Let's see. All right, for the present, we have Knight of Wands, which is again very interesting because we have the Fool in the past. So, yeah, looking out for opportunities, just, my character feels like that in the past, they seem to be very, very, they were anticipating what their journey would look like. And of course, the Fool card is all about, it's a new beginning, but there is danger out in the wild. But my character seems, my character knows that. And so, but he doesn't care. They don't care. So let's see. Now we have Knight of Wands in the present. Knight of Wands is adventurous. They have this youthful energy to them that they think they can do anything. But also they're reckless. They're known to be reckless, and it's very like juvenile confidence. It's not confidence based on objective truths. It's confidence that sometimes leans towards arrogance, but they're confident. They're very passionate about what they want to do. So that's the Knight of Wands. So I see what this character is building up to be. Now let's go with the future. What would my character's future look like? Potentially. Again, this is malleable. This can change based on how I portray him or her in the present. Let's see. And the thing is, I've played characters that are quite reserved or more intelligent, like they're logical. They do use their emotions, but they're more mind over matter. So for this one, I think this is very interesting because this will be my first time playing a character like this, who's like, no, I'm not gonna think. I'm gonna do something before I even think about the consequences. Okay, let's see. Give me the future of this character. All right, so a card fell, and the future is the Hermit. Oh, interesting. So, for those of you who don't know what the Hermit is if you I'm gonna show it in the video, but if you're listening, just the audio, the Hermit is all about looking within. It's all about solitude, finding solace. uh, the imagery here is really peaceful. It's peaceful, it's still. There is no sense of movement aside from the stag behind the cloak figure. So I'm going to read through the guidebook and tell you what the hermit means in this author's interpretation. So the hermit represents, like I said, solitude and leaving responsibilities behind to focus inward. In the Celtic myth, the elusive white stag encourages people to drop everything and pursue spirituality. Spirituality, that's a word that I've been getting from the first card that we pulled, which is Inner Temple. And for the upright meanings, it's introspection, withdrawal, prudence, insight, meditation, reversed, recklessness, hastiness, avoidance, loneliness, rejection. So I feel like as if my character's recklessness will definitely take a toll on them. I'm not sure how, I'm not sure why, but because of that energy, that reckless energy, the reckless confidence, arrogance sometimes, I feel like they'll reach a point in the future where they'll be hit by something minor or major. I feel like this is major because this is a major arcana card. It will something major will happen to them, and that will majorly diminish their energy. They will really look inside themselves and ask a lot of questions, self reflect. Because I feel like my character in the past and present is all about go, go, go. I'm not even in touch. That character is the character is not in touch with their inner self. And so with something happening to them, it could be a bad event, it could be something good, but it will really impact them in a major, major way. So they will take time to really look internally and reflect in the future. That's actually quite a great spread. So this person also with the hermit in the future, I feel like this character has I feel like they're a surface level follower of the deity. They don't really follow the rules or the principles to heart, or they do follow, but it's more of like blind faith. It's more like blind faith. It's not like they're following it because their heart tells them to their heart tells them to. It's what they think is right. Like this is what it says in the textbook. This is what it says in the law. This is what my deity wants and I'll follow it. And I'm not gonna question it. And I feel like something will happen that will make them change their mindset on that and think for the first time ever, okay, why am I even doing this? Why does my deity want us to do this? Why does our deity want us to say this? It's going to be a meditative and enlightening journey for this character. That's what I'm getting. Okay. So that's our new character. No name yet. Now, I want to focus on who they are as a person. I've already dabbled into that earlier, but I want now to really hone in on um, their name, their appearance, their personality, basically their branding identity. Okay. I'll also pull three cards for this. One is for what energy the name should have. The other one is for outer self, and the other one is for inner self. So, how they view themselves inward and how they express themselves outwardly. And yeah, let's do it. So, I'm gonna put this cards aside for the journey. Now let's focus on this character's identity and branding. Okay. So, let's pull for the energy of the name. What kind of name should this person have? Like what is it giving? Because I would like if the name would be like something opposite of what their energy is. Because earlier I said, yeah, they're like very confident, but I would like their name to be a bit demure, a bit cutesy. So let's see what the cards would give me as I shuffle them. So let's again full pull for the first card, the energy of the name. All right. Okay, so I pulled the four of coins for the energy of the name. So the energy of the name seems to be somewhat like I feel like the name should sound like it's rich. It's someone, if you hear the name, you know that this person has a stereotype of like, they're materialistic. They're they're rich. They're rich. Okay, I'm getting the vibe that this would be the name would sound very, very like, when you hear the name, it's wealthy, it's rich. Okay, got it. So that's the name. That's the energy of the name. I don't have a name yet, but I'm gonna keep that in mind. Now, how about their outer self. How do they express themselves outwardly, like in terms of clothes, their color palette, their expressions, verbally and facial expressions as well. Like how do they present themselves to others? That is basically the question for the second card that we will pull for today. All right, let's see. Okay, so I pulled Nine of Swords for the outer expression. Nine of Swords. Also, I'll be pulling the images of these cards that I got on the screen for those who are watching. So, Nine of Swords is all about like anxiety, terror, nightmares, obsession, insomnia. I'm reading from the guidebook. So, and also the image is the tale of Oedipus. Oedipus. I don't know, but yeah, this is the tale of Oedipus, and I feel like for outward appearance, I'm actually going to focus on the Oracle reader here because this is the Oracle at Delphi or Delphi. Anyways, but the Oracle here is what's catching my attention, and I feel like for their outward appearance, they're dressed like very flowy clothes. Flowy if they're a guy, they would like have loose sleeves, um like silks, very regal, very demure. That's what I'm getting from their appearance, which again is contrary to their energy. So oh, you know what? Instead of them being like outwardly like very, very energetic, their confidence is they are okay. Oh, this is interesting. So they feel like they think they know everything. And the way they do that is by presenting themselves as a very knowledgeable person, a very knowledgeable figure. And that's why I got Knight of Wands earlier. Is it Knight of Wands? Yeah, Knight of Wands. They're too confident about what they think they know about the world, and they try to manifest um that mindset through how they look and how they speak. So they speak calmly. They speak with a calm authority, and it will never come off as arrogant to other people. But they will get hit with the truth once that major event happens. But yeah, they are very calm on the outside. They're calm on the outside. They present themselves as an all-knowing figure, but in reality, they're not. They're not. They're not a fraud though. They're just a bit too ahead of themselves. Like they can definitely be that person who knows a lot of things, but they're not at that point right now. They just want to pretend that they are. In short, delusional. I mean, I am delusional as well. So this is going to be an easy character for me to play. All right, let's now pull for the inner self. How are they internally? Like, this is more like their much truer self. All right, so let's pull some card here. Um, let's have a card fly from this deck as I shuffle. All right. So, interesting. I got two of coins for the inner self. So, how do they really feel? How do they express themselves inwardly? Or like when they can trust someone, how do they manifest their much truer self, which is the inner self? So, two of coins is multitasking, balance, choice, flexibility, prioritization. So, yeah, I feel like inwardly they are worried. They are concerned about a lot of things, and they feel like they are juggling two separate things at the same time. I mean, that's the classic depiction of two of coins. But here, I feel like they're yeah, they feel like inwardly they're concerned about different things, their different interests. They don't show that outwardly. They care. I feel like, oh yeah, here with the mother figure of two of coins. This is a mother figure carrying two species. This is the folktale of. Let me just actually check my guidebook so I can say the myth correctly. Yeah, Rip's son, Pacific Northwest, Haida mythology. Yeah. So this gives me a caring maternal figure that that they truly are. But I think in order to protect themselves, I'm not sure why, in order to protect themselves from maybe disappointment or having their expectations crushed, I feel like they're presenting themselves as someone who's calm, who's not worried about anything really. They're good. Like they show themselves as, oh, all right, cool. I don't care, but deep inside they do care and they're concerned and they have a lot of worry in mind. But of course, they don't want to show that because I think they see that as a sign of weakness. And that's why they're deluding themselves into being more stoic, being more objective, quote unquote stoic and objective, because they're really not. They're just trying to be. All right. So that's cool and all. Now, for funsies. Lastly, this is the last thing that we'll do. For funsies, I want to ask if I should romance someone from the roster of players we have or we will have, just in case some characters die and they'll be replaced by new characters. We'll do a simple one card yes or no pull. All right, so let's see what we will have. So, should we romance someone as this character? Let's see what I will pull. It will be funny if I get a no. Because I've always wanted to romance a character. Alright, so I pulled a card and it shows me the chariot. Oh, this is a definite yes. This is like, oh, go for it. Go for it, girly. You romance someone? But also the question is, will they romance me back? We're not sure. But they're telling me I should go for it. So that doesn't imply if my romance will end in a happily ever after or a happily never after, which is cool, honestly. All right, that's it, dear adventurer. That brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for sticking around until the end. I hope you had a chill and wonderful time with me after we used Sarah to build our character's backstory and personality, and also, asking if we could do a love line. This was so fun, and if you found this method in character creation useful, especially if you're someone like me who finds characterization important above all else, then by all means, use this method or ask someone you know who reads tarot to help you out. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review us on Spotify, and be sure to come back next time for a reading on everyone's favorite D&D show, Critical Role. Until then, this has been Ravi, and always remember that your soul is divinely guided adventurer.